lighting is okay. I got a new light from TikTok, so I don't know. But this video, someone asked me, and actually that wasn't the only person that asked me. Most of the people asked me, how did I buy my house? And no, I didn't buy it outright. I bought a home loan. But it was the timing of the loan in which I bought my house that made my house really a great deal. So I've been really looking for a home ever since, I've been looking to buy a home ever since one of my older sisters bought a home. I was like, I was just always fascinated. Even when I was a kid, my mom, she was trying to buy a home, and she was showing me the whole process and everything. We would go on home searches. My mom, she was a drug counselor back then, and she had a friend. He was also a drug counselor, but he was also a realtor as well. So her friend from work, he was only reason why I remember this is because the type of car, I love cars. He drove a black Acura, 4-door, it's set up real high, and I'm like, it's a nice car. But anyway, we would like every weekend we would just go look at houses, and then that was when I realized, she was like, yeah, we got a time limit, it's only good for so many months, and this and that and the other. And then we would stop, and then like the next year we would start back, and then we just couldn't find nothing, or the homes that she liked or that we liked, it was already a contract on it. And this was back, I gotta ask my mom what year this was, because I was still riding a bike. I was like in middle school, so this was probably maybe anywhere from 16 to 17 years ago. All of this had happened. And like the house that we was looking at was like $100,000 back then. I'm pretty sure now them houses was probably like upwards of $300,000 to $400,000. But anyway, I bought my home in Ohio. Ohio is a very strange state, only because I'm not used to people wanting to help you. They want you to have your own this, your own that. They don't want you to rent nothing. They want you to own it. And if you look up Ohio's GDP and everything, Ohio is one of the few states that is not bankrupt and that don't really depend on federal spending money for a lot of things, just because of how they are. And I think it's probably more homeowners here than, I'm not gonna say than all the states, but I think it's up there with, you know, a lot of people owning homes here. They want you to be successful. Even when you go into banks in Ohio, their mindset is, oh, you're not trying to buy a home? Like, they're trying to give anybody a home loan here. But so the bare minimum of pretty much getting any home loan, and this is anywhere, any bank, you have to have a credit score of at least 680. I bought my home in 2018, so I was looking in 2017 all the way up until I bought my home. But you have to have a bare minimum at that time of 680. I'm pretty sure it's the same, 680. And a 680 credit score is, sorry y'all, I just woke up. A 680 credit score is pretty much a fair credit score where a lot of people fall in. That credit score just says, yeah, I don't really have that much credit, I don't really owe people nothing, I'm just here. That's the bare minimum. Now, your credit score, when you go like on Credit Karma or any one of those other websites, may say, oh, you got a 740 or 750 credit score, but when they pull your credit to buy a home, it may be 690 or 700, barely at what they want. The reason being is because when looking into buying a home, they look at completely different factors than buying a car or getting a credit card. Buying a car and getting a credit card or getting a personal loan, they look at pretty much almost the same thing. Buying a house, they look at completely other different things and everything. So I thought I had excellent credit both ways, when really I just had fair credit when it comes to purchasing a home. mind you, this was, let me see, I was in my early 20s when I bought my home. So I was what, 23, 24? Yeah, I was 23 turning 24. And so 680 credit score. I'm trying to think. Another thing too, insurance. Shop around for insurance. If you know that you're going to be buying a home, this is what I did. I had insurance companies that I go through. So at the time I went through Allstate. I have a cousin, she owned Allstate from the state that I'm from. So I would kind of contact her and show her pictures and stuff. Well, when I bought my home, I showed the pictures, but you can ask people for advice, like, what type of insurance should I be looking at? Will this insurance go up? Etc. Looking for insurance trends. So I went through, you go through Allstate, State Farm, pretty much anybody who can offer homeowners insurance. Now, I did not know this. Not all insurance companies offer homeowners insurance for some odd reason. I don't know if that's just an Ohio thing, but it was a few. They just didn't offer homeowners insurance. They offer everything else but that. Don't know why, but well, at least that's what they told me. They probably lied. But you go through Progressive. Basically, if you have insurance on your car, go through that insurance company to get homeowners insurance, because every insurance company, they do a thing where if you get multiple products with them, it becomes a discount. So of course I had got my homeowners insurance, and then I got my car insurance on the same exact plan, because I did what's called a bundle deal. So I got a discount from both just by bundling. And that's what insurance companies do nowadays. They want to have you with the homeowners insurance. They want you to have the life insurance. They want you to have all your insurance needs one-stop shop. That's what they want. In order to bring people in, the only way that they can do that is basically give you a discount. Because if they wouldn't give me a discount, I probably wouldn't even go through them. I'm gonna be honest. But knowing how much it costs. So my home, I bought my home for $50,000. It was appraised for a little bit more than that. I think like 55 or 60. But when you're buying insurance, you're paying for how much does it cost to rebuild the whole house. It's my house, it costs $190,000 to rebuild my house from the ground up. And then I have a 2-car garage, which I don't know if y'all know this. This is my refrigerator. I'm in my garage right now, and to rebuild my garage, because I have insurance on my garage and my house and everything around it, $190,000. But my house only paid $50,000 for it. So for instance, if you buy a house that's $150,000, don't be surprised if you have to buy insurance up to $400,000 to $500,000. They're trying to figure out how much does it cost to build that house from today's money from the ground up. So my insurance, I think at the time, was $800 or $900 for that first year. But see, I'm only paying for $190,000 worth of insurance. If you buy a house that costs more than my house, way more, and it costs $300,000 to $400,000 to rebuild that house, even though you only spent $150,000, $160,000 to buy the house, that $800 can easily go up to $1,600 a year. Easily. It may not be $1,600. It may be $1,400, $1,500. It just depends on the area, the trends. Do you live in a flood zone? I don't live in a flood zone. It depends on many factors. So people in Florida, their homeowners insurance is going to cost probably $1,000 more than anybody else's who don't live in Florida, just because hurricane season. So stay away from the coastlines and the ocean, because you're going to have high insurance prices. Yeah, good real estate, but high insurance prices. Let me speed on forward. Title insurance. You have to have title insurance when buying a home. If you go up and buy a home cash and you don't get no homeowners insurance, no homeowners warranty, or no title insurance, you may be screwed in the future, because anybody can just come up years later and say, hey, this is my house. And if they have paperwork from back in 1950 that says that this is my house, they can legally take your house and you gotta leave. That's when title insurance come in. When title insurance, I bought $50,000, whatever my house is worth, that's the amount of title insurance that is bought, and that goes to the title company. The title company people they have all your paperwork and stuff when you go to sign the papers, when you go to what's called closing. Closing means that you about to basically purchase a home. So anyway, you have to buy title insurance. Now, I can't remember how much my title insurance was. Maybe $300 or $400. It's not too bad, but you need that title insurance, because anybody can come up and be like, this is my home, or it can be deed fraud. And guess what? The title company is gonna pay you whatever the price that you pay for your house. They're gonna write you a check if something in the future happens to where, oh, this is my home, y'all, this is not legally your home, blah blah blah. This is why you gotta have the insurance. Homeowners insurance. Normally a realtor will have homeowners insurance, and normally the person selling a home would purchase homeowners insurance for your first year for you. That's normally what happens. Realtor, normally the person who is selling the home, they normally buy the realtor, but that's not every single case, or they may help you with closing costs with the home if they really want to just get the home sold. Trying to speed past this. It's a lot of information. Getting your house inspected. If you're going and getting a home loan, you have to get an inspection. The inspections normally cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000, depending on what type of house it is, how big it is. And I wasn't here with my inspector. I wish I was, but go through a list of people that the realtor goes through. Or you can just get your own home inspector and go through a whole nother list. It don't matter. It's gonna all cost the same. They're gonna make sure that everything is good. If they see anything crazy, they're gonna give you a whole report. Like they told me that the basement was leaking every now and then, and it does. It's a basement. It's an older home. And it was just a few other things or whatnot. Now, they didn't tell me that it was a plug in my bathroom that did not work. So I'm kind of regretting not going through my own home inspector. But to be honest with you, I think I must have just lucked out because I have no other issue. Now, my plug in my kitchen did just go out. I had to pay out of pocket for that, but that was probably because it was old. But homeowners inspection, you have to get that. Even if you pay cash, you don't have to, but it could be some structural damage, or the foundation just could be jacked up to where the home is unlivable. You wouldn't even know because you didn't get that homeowners inspection. And then now let's get to the homeowners grants. So every single bank in the United States, they offer homeowners grants, and every single credit union. I did not know that. They don't put it out on TV or put it out in front of the grant. Hey, be a first-time homeowner. No. You have to go into the bank, talk to the person who deals with home loans, and ask them, hey, what are the first-time homeowners programs do your bank offers? I went through Chase Bank, and they offer a grant that never runs out. It's anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 that they will give you towards your home. You have to take this online homeowners class in order to get that particular grant. Also, I have a job where it was this coupon that gave me $750 off of closing from my home. And that coupon, it didn't have any stipulations. So that same year I closed on my home, I waited a year. And then the next year when I refinanced my home, I used that $750 again. So it's just one of those things like, wow. So I would check your job to see Because normally places, you would have like a discount website or discount catalog of things in a home loan. So I went through to see what my job offered, because it was a lot of home loan programs or home loan banks that my job went through for perks. Just for working here, you can get this much off of closing. Then I went to the actual bank, and then they gave me additional funding off of closing. Look up the HUD program. So before I did any of this, I went through what's called a HUD program. It's through the county. It's to get people who don't make that much money into their first home, or just a younger person or young couple, getting them into their first home. The do's and the don'ts on what to look for, what not to look for. It's a group of people who they made mistakes in the past. They bought too much home. They couldn't afford it, and they were telling us the do's and the don'ts, what to look for in a home when buying a home. Look at the roof. Look to see how old the roof is. Look at the air conditioning. Do it has air conditioning? Do it has a furnace, or is it or do it not have a furnace? You'd be surprised. Some houses don't be having furnaces, and they be real nice, and you'll buy it and not know, oh, this ain't got no furnace. So just looking for certain things, looking at the foundation, looking at the structural integrity. And it was like a 2 or 3 week program. We had to go to downtown, and at a later video I will show you the folders and everything. And I had a certificate with my name on it, and I think I still got it, that says I completed the program. Now, I didn't get that particular grant because it was a county thing. So basically, if they run out of funding for that particular city, each city in the county got their own allocated money. If they run out of money for that particular city, then you get it no more. So that's the one I didn't get, but I could have got. And I got another $2,500 through, I forget through who, but altogether my closing was a little over $5,000. So I saved up $6,000. So come to find out, they doing the write-up and everything. It was like, hold on, $750 for my job, the $2,500 from Chase Bank, and then the house that I was buying, it was like another government grant that they actually applied for $2,500. They had to write me a check at closing for $7.13. Look at God. So I know I needed a roof, so I just bought the whole roof pretty much with the house, the money that I was gonna close with. I bought it through Lowe's on a Lowe's credit card for $7,000. Brand new roof. And that's pretty much how I got my first home. How much do I owe on my home right now? Chase, they send me a thing every month about, my home, my neighborhood, trending, how much I owe, all of that. And I only owe like $20,000. Like, if I wanted to, I can pay this off tomorrow or today. But my interest rate on my home, my APR is only 3.5%. But they're only charging me $66 a month for interest. I'm getting paid more just to have my money sit in a bank account in a high yield interest savings. Well, it's a certificate of deposit. Most of my money is in a certificate of deposit. It's collecting like $200 a month. So if I would take that money and to just pay my house off, I'll technically be losing money. So it's cheaper just to pay my how much is it? $275 every 2 weeks, which is what, what is that, y'all? $550, $570 every month. And when I first got my home, I was only paying $368 a month. My car note at the time was more than my loan. My car note was $370. My home loan was $369. Weird. Refinanced my home from 30-year to a 15-year a year later, and it became like $491. And then every year after that, my taxes has been rising because after COVID, the real estate has been going crazy. So this is why now my house is worth, I think, about $140,000 even though I only paid $50,000 for my house. So I went from $491 to $598, and then I was paying extra money on it every month, and now I'm back down because I had an overage in my escrow. Even though my stuff keep going up, I was paying 2 house notes a month for almost 2 years, and they got my escrow in a overage, so they put all that extra money that I paid, they put it on the house, and when they redid my escrow, my monthly payments for that year would just go down, or it'll stay about the same, or it'll just be like maybe $50 less. So that's another perk of owning a home. Another perk of owning a home, you can put a for sale sign up at any time and just sell your house and move. Or you could leave, pay your mortgage, and go somewhere else and just rent. Very flexible. You can put up a for rent sign up. I would get a lawyer, get some documents and everything, be like how to become a first time home renter or landlord or whatever, rent out your house. I don't trust people like that. I'm just gonna sell the house. Yeah. Also, another reason why I chose not to just pay off my house today is because of there's a lot of deed fraud going on. I just did some research. I can register my name of my house for deed fraud alerts. Anytime something happens with your home address or anybody try to change something, you'll be the first one to be notified, and it'll protect you from deed fraud. And normally states and counties, they offer deed fraud alerts for free because that's a felony. So yeah, just make sure when you do pay off your house, if you do get some cash every month, check the county records to make sure nobody is trying to do, they call it a quick claim deed. A quick claim deed is anybody could lie, be like, oh, this my sister, this my brother, they just died. And they're supposed to furnish evidence that they are not only related to you, but they need a death certificate. And I'm like, well, the county then lied, and somebody at the county need to be fired, and the people who are doing this felonious activity, these felonies, they also need to go to jail. But I'm seeing this a lot on TikTok where people are going through it. But then I'm like, well, don't you got title insurance? How did you buy your home? That's a nice home to be just paid off. So by the bank actually owning my home, even though the deed is in my name, they're not finna just let anybody just come in. So I'm kind of sort of protected. Another way to protect your home, if you're done paying off your house, get a $10,000 loan on your house. Give a bank your deed and be like, hey, I need a $10,000 loan. I want to hold my house as collateral. They're gonna hold that. Meaning, can't nobody just come up and just take that, because they're gonna be like, hey, we need our money, and this person, but oh, for real? Yeah, So what the bank gonna do is they gonna get that person in jail for you. So that's another thing to keep your home safe. If you don't owe no money, just get a $5,000 or $10,000 loan on it every year. Put that in a certificate deposit. I guarantee you the interest that they give you for the certificate deposit will be more than the interest that you will pay on that small loan that you got on your house. If you're following. If you know, you know. So yeah, it's a real easy process. The outside of my house look crazy, and also too, I was gonna tell y'all this. The background picture that I put on my thumbnail is actually my house. I wasn't gonna say that, but that's actually my house. I went to the realtor website and just typed in my address, and that's actually my house. I live in a very small, well, it's a 750 square foot 2-bedroom home with a 2-car garage, and the air is always on. It's always cold because I love it cold. So yeah. Also, I redid my kitchen, and either tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna start redoing the rest of the stuff that I was gonna do. If you look at my shorts from a few years ago, you see me redoing my kitchen. That's another thing with owning a home. You can remodel it. You can do pretty much anything you want to it. Okay? So hopefully that answered the question from a few people who asked me. Oh, sorry for the noise. I'm in my garage. But for all the people who asked me, like, you know, what was the process and whatnot. And before I end this video, let me turn this camera around. Like, y'all, we are in my garage. This is my garage. We are literally here. So, and I don't know if y'all noticed, my garage is very clean, very neat, very put together. If you look at my YouTube shorts of me cleaning up my whole garage and just organizing everything, you see I got everything over here organized. I'm a lawnmower and my bike and everything, just real organized or whatever. But like I said, when you buy your first home, don't go crazy. Do not try to get your dream home, because that dream home will quickly become a very expensive thing to maintain, to where if you go without having a job for a few weeks, you may not be able to afford that home no more. So I bought a home to where I can pay all my bills out of 1-2 week paycheck. My other paycheck, they can go to savings. Well, I just got this car last year, so not for real. But I can get rid of this car tomorrow and not have a car note. And literally, that one paycheck can be my food, all my bills, everything. So I always tell people, if you can't necessarily afford 2 of your mortgage payments, you may not be able to afford that home. Or if you can afford a mortgage payment plus afford to pay half of that mortgage payment, you are in good standing. Because what that says is, oh, I can save up a lot of money just in case for a rainy day. So I always tell people, your first home should be something that you can easily pay off within 10 to 15 years or less. Because my payoff date for my home is 2030. But it's going to probably be 2028. Because I'm going to probably get tired of paying this. But everybody wants to know. I guess at a later video, I would get more detailed in the process. Because it's a long process buying a home. It's a long process. The homes, I always tell people, never fall in love with a home, because I fell in love with so many houses before this one. This house I really didn't fall in love with. I just was like, ooh, this is small, this is up high, high ceilings. I didn't really fall in love with it. It was a nice price. It's within walking distance of my job. 40-minute walk from my job. But I live close to downtown. I live close to all of the highways. I live close to the airport. I'm just in a weird location where it's very convenient for me and my liking. Okay? The next house I buy will probably be a newly built house, or it'll probably be, I don't know. I've never rented before, but if I do sell this home, I would probably go a year without actually owning. I'll probably go rent in a luxury apartment somewhere and just relax, and then probably look at buying other homes. But like I said, another video I will show you guys different houses and just, you know, a more detailed process of what I went through. It took me almost 2 years to get a house. Yes, 2 years. Only because every house I was looking at had a contract on it right before I looked at it. So like a day before, a few hours before. Yes. So I was falling in love with dozens of homes, and then people was buying them up, snatching them up. Alright? So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. That's pretty much how I got my home. It's gonna be a lot harder now because everything just costs way more nowadays. So just understand, $500 and $600 mortgages on a home for nowadays is gonna probably be an unlivable home. So you're I seen a house last week. It was newly built that I could actually afford, and I think the mortgage is gonna be $1,100 a month, which I can actually afford that. But I'm paying $5 something a month. Think about that. And that's what the going rate now, $180 anywhere from 130 on up is a decent house. You ain't no more $50,000 houses. Ain't no more $100,000 houses. Hi you guys. My phone, my camera, I think it, after 30 minutes, I think it got too hot or something in my garage. I don't know. But I was just saying, ain't no more $50,000 houses. Ain't no more $100,000 houses. They got those houses, but them, when I say them are some fixer-uppers, they need a roof, a furnace. They probably need a lot of things depending on what area you are in. Alright? So, just understand, you're not going to get my type of mortgage unless you were just kind of lucky, or the people, they just don't want the house. But nowadays you're gonna probably need a $50,000 loan just to put on the house, and you're still gonna have anywhere from $700 to $1,200 payment on that home, just because the housing market is like, I don't know why it's so crazy right now. I don't know. I just know a lot of people who bought their homes before COVID, they stayed in them, and because they didn't sell and they stayed in them, the housing market just went up, because now it's not that many houses on the market to be bought, which it spiked that price up way high. Because I remember they was telling me my house is worth almost 4 times what it was worth for like 2 or 3 months, and a lot of people were selling their house, and I'm like, I can't afford no new house at this time. Even if I did sell, these houses are crazy expensive. So just understand, go through first time homeowner programs. Look up your HUD program with your state. Like you know what? Let me go look for it. I'm finna go look for my HUD program folder. You guys, I found that my certificate of completion, of course it got my real name. Look at the dates. And I bought my house a few months later after, and this is with the HUD program. So let me show you guys. My name on it. Home Ownership Center. And then the HUD program. This is the home ownership Dayton. Ownership. Well, I'm sorry. HomeOwnershipDayton.org. And then this is a look at what my house, I don't have the homeowner's warranty anymore because I couldn't afford it at the time. So like I said, back then I didn't make that much money, but this is what the realtors have, the realtor's name. I kept everything. I still got everything. What all it covers. Like all of this in here is stuff that I got done to my house. I keep everything, okay? I keep everything, but that's what it looks like. So yeah, on another video, I guess I'll do a part 2, and we will get into the nitty-gritty of the paperwork. I just looked at my paperwork, and it looks like I only paid for the first year of my home. It was $532 for the first year. Second year was completely different. Third year, now my I paid, it just went from $900 to $1,100 for my homeowner's insurance. I don't know why it's going up, but I mean, it's what, less than $100 a month. But yeah, so just know I keeps all my documents. I got a copy of my title insurance and deed, and the good thing about these documents, you can call your bank and they'll give it to you. So I called my bank. I was like, I can't find my deed to my house. Can you send it to me? So what they did was, I think they mailed it to me, and they mailed me a copy. I was like, oh yeah, sure. I was like, I just need it for my records. They was like, oh yeah, sure. Got my title insurance and everything. So yeah, but this is a long video, but to start out, it's gonna be long, and then I'ma just, you know, we're gonna work on talking about other things, about how much you can afford and this and that and the other. So we'll get into that. This is just the introductory or how I got my house. It took a while to get me a home, and y'all, I think I'm lying. No, I did. I got my home in 2018. It was at the end of the year. I was looking at from the first of the year to toward the end, yes. And I was looking to previous years. But yeah, don't dwell on nothing that happened in the past. Move on, move forward. Hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. And ciao!